And we're live. Hey, Juan, thanks for taking some time. I really appreciate it. So, Juan, I'll just go ahead and start with asking you to introduce yourself, as
Sure.
well as when did you graduate and where are you working?
Yeah. So my name is Juan Peterson. I graduated from Rankin in the spring of 2017. Uh, my degree was in internet and web-based technology. I currently work at Build-A-Bear. I've been at Build-A-Bear pretty much since I graduated from Rankin. So going on about 4 years now.
Nice. That's awesome. So graduated and then got a job pretty much right away at Build a Bear. And so, what do you do at Build a Bear? Tell us about your day job.
So I work on the enterprise systems team. We work closely with the warehouse, just making sure uh, pretty much all of our warehouse systems are functioning correctly and data is flowing. The warehouse is a very integral part of our company. So we're like dealing with like a whole bunch of moving parts there. But I do a lot of like we create SQL scripts, we run SQL scripts, we do a lot of database maintenance. I would say the best way to kind of describe my role is almost like similar to like a junior database administrator or something like that. But
That's awesome.
I won't say I spend like a whole lot of time doing a lot of database administration work, but that's definitely something that is a part of my day for at least 4 to 5 days a week.
Nice. That's awesome because a lot of students they come through Rankin and they're learning to write code and there's obviously, there's different parts. There's the front end, then there's the back end, then there's full stack. And so a lot of students when they come through, they're really interested in the database, the back end. They tend to gravitate towards that for whatever reason. So it's really cool to see a graduate go off and get a database type of role. So that's awesome.
Definitely, like I remember at Rankin, I think last time we spoke, I kind of told you that was one of the highlights. Just when we ran through the whole sequel, a few of the sequel courses or a few of the chapters in the book that we were reading regarding sequel. That was like my favorite part. Kind of during my time at Rankin, I had a lot of fun messing around with that stuff.
So that was you. So you kind of gravitated that way, and that's where you wound up getting an entry level job.
Exactly.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. So you kind of mentioned that we spoke before, and one of the things just when we were just generally chatting, you mentioned that you were a dual enrolled student, and I just thought that was really cool that you went through ranking. I tell you what, why don't you just kind of tell me about what was that dual enrollment program and did you like doing that and how did it work out for you?
So I'm not like a superstitious person, but I feel like everything happens for a reason. And during my senior year in high school, my first semester, I had like no idea what I was going to be doing with my life, honestly. And then this slip of paper like came around, and it was about the dual enrollment program at Rankin. And a few of the courses on there, like in the one in particular, of course, the one that I went into in information technology. I had just had a conversation with somebody like prior to that slip, reaching me at school. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, I just talked to somebody about this. They were saying like, hey, you should probably get into this. This is kind of the way the world is moving now. So, I quickly told my counselor, hey, I want to be a part of this. I want to, just kind of get a little bit more information on this. And my second semester, my final semester, my senior year, was when I started the dual enrollment program. So I think I started off with I forgot his name. It's been so long, but he was an operating systems teacher. He was a very very intelligent man. He helped me out a lot. I learned a lot of stuff from him. And then I met you later on that semester. I actually thought you were a student.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
You look so young.
That's
Uh,
good. It's a
yeah,
young
but
it's a young man's game. I mean, I don't take offense to that.
yeah. So yeah, and I remember like specifically like the operating system stuff, that was like kind of not my thing. But when I met you and we started working with like HTML, I was like, ah, yeah, okay. So now I'm starting to see what, why I came here. Because, prior to me kind of seeing that stuff, I didn't know if I was really going to stay at Rankin, but I'm glad that during that dual enrollment program, we got a taste of kind of all of the different parts in information technology. Like, we got to learn some stuff about hardware, operating systems, and then, like you said, internet and web-based technology. So all that stuff helped out a lot.
Awesome. So the premise of dual enrollment is you were enrolled in both high school and college at the same time. And so when you graduated from Rankin and got your job at Build-A-Bear, how old were you?
I was like 19, just turned 20 or something like
Wow,
that.
young pup, man.
Yeah, I
19
was.
years old with your first professional career,
Yeah,
and so this is a few years later now. So how old are you now?
I'm 24.
You're 24.
Yeah,
You're a young man, but still a young pup.
yeah, I'm still the youngest guy up there.
Nice.
Nobody's taking that reign from me yet. Uh, it's been definitely like an adjustment, just kind of growing as a professional, not just being smart or knowing what you're doing, but just when you get into this field, yeah, learning, knowing what you're doing is very important, but also just being a professional. What I've learned has been very, very important.
So that's awesome. So you're like the youngest guy on the team then,
Yeah, pretty much by far.
and by a lot. And I mean, what's it been like for you being 19 years old to 24 years old, like growing up in a professional career? What's that like?
Bill Bear, I'm pretty sure they took advantage of me because I was like saying yes to everything. When I first started there, I think when I told you, and this kind of sometimes this is how things kind of start off, but I didn't start off like in the role that I'm in now. I was on the service desk initially, but when I first got there, I told them like, hey, I'm gonna do my job, but this is what I want to do. I want to do this stuff. And Build a Bear like completely like they're very big on learning and building people up. So they got me access to courses. Like I said, I was speaking with the developers and the director of the development team a lot. He actually got me into launch code, so I did launch code for a little while I was at Build a Bear. Uh,
Ah, okay.
Even though I learned about launch code from you, but the director of development at Build a Bear, he was like, hey, if you really want to kind of get acclimated over to my team, yeah, you should probably check out launch code,
So
maybe.
launch code was used in your case for continuing education, you could say.
Pretty much. Just I remember just working on the service desk. Of course, for 8 hours a day, I wasn't doing what I wanted to do. So I wanted to kind of keep my mind moving and
Yeah.
stay in the know. Also, I wanted to learn Python because I didn't get a chance to learn that.
Well, yeah, and everyone knows it. If you don't use it, you lose it kind of thing. So, yeah, you could learn to write code, but if you don't use it over a couple of years,
Yeah,
you'll be, technology changes all so fast, and we all know that, right? So,
so fast.
awesome, awesome. And so, I see you're working from home now. I guess that's a COVID thing. And
Yes.
what's the future look like with that?
I'm not sure. My manager, my team and I, we had like a little happy hour. We went to like Pie Pizza not too long ago, and my manager, her boss was there, and he kind of was talking to us. We were all kind of drinking. I'm not sure if he was supposed to really say everything to us, but it almost seemed like they were probably gearing towards maybe potentially doing this permanently. Just seeing that prior to COVID, we were planning on moving downtown, and a lot of people weren't happy with that. So to accommodate that, they offered that we could work from home a few days a week, and then go into the office a few days a week or something like that for people who didn't want to go down all the way downtown because we were in Overland, Missouri, prior to us moving downtown. But COVID hit, and now everybody's just working from home. So it's just kind of like my manager's boss was saying. I mean, it's going to be hard for them to say no if people want to stay at home because we've been running the company for over a year and a half straight from home. So
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. We'll see.
Well, a lot of a lot of people like the idea of work from home.
Definitely.
And so to see someone who's graduated, successful, young, and working from home, I mean, you're checking all the boxes here. It's you know, you're an ideal alumni kind of thing because you really are because you check all the boxes as far as like You're working from home. You're young. You're successful. You're working with code. You you started off. Rankin was your launching point, to get into a career, and you stayed focused on your mission, which was to write code, and it's all working out for you. So that's awesome. So, um, you also have a family to speak of. Is that right?
Yeah. My oldest daughter actually just started school. Her first day of school was today. So
What is that like?
it was like probably worse for me.
Was it?
She was ready to go. She's been at home every day, so she's like, yeah, let's go to school. So but yeah, she got out the car. She went to her classmates. I didn't have a problem. Like she wasn't hanging onto my leg or nothing. She was like, all right, see you later.
That's cool. So that's your oldest daughter, and you have.
I have three daughters, so I have my two younger daughters. They're in their room right now, probably flipping it upside down right now.
In the room next door.
Yeah,
Well, I appreciate you taking some time, and I'm sure your daughters appreciate that, so they can flip the room upside down. So that's cool. So yeah, so you're talking to again, you're talking to a lot of you're talking to me obviously, but a lot of you're on the big screen too. So I got a first semester class, and they're all watching you, and they've actually had a chance to meet you before too. So I don't know that they're going to have any questions, but I'll open it up to my class. Does anybody, you already met Juan, and you already maybe had some chance to ask him a question, but anything come to mind?
Be happy,
Are you happy?
mentally happy,
happy in my career.
mentally.
Yeah, I would say yeah. Definitely happy. I've been there for a while. I will say I'm starting to kind of feel like maybe I should, kind of dust off my resume and, just try to look around and see what's out there. But yeah, I mean, Build-A-Bear, they're, like I said, they're just, aside from me getting paid, they're very family oriented. They're very supportive. Uh, Gone through a lot of different trials and tribulations these past few years, and they've been there for me. So yeah, I'm very happy. And that's something to look for in a company, getting paid well, like yeah, that's great, man. But the company's not going to be there for you because life happens, especially when you're working. So the company's not going to be there for you. That could really make or break, how long you would want to stay there. So a lot of people that I work with at Build-A-Bear have been here since Build-A-Bear kind of started, which was about 20 years ago in 1997. So it just, I when I first started, I was like, wow, they stay here this long and they're in like IT. It's not normal. 20 years in one company in IT is not normal. But after working there for so long, I kind of see why people got comfortable there.
Do you see yourself writing code in 10, 15, 20 years? Is this your lifelong career for you?
I really want to be kind of like a database administrator, but like a full-on database administrator.
Yeah.
So I won't say I want to like really get into like writing code like from like Python or like C# or anything like that, but anything with SQL I could see myself doing for the good, like probably the rest of my life almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Juan, thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time to record it. I know you're busy. I know you're working. You got kids, so uh, like I said, you're a perfect alumni as far as a success story. A young man that came through a program, made something of himself, and now has a career in check as a young man. So you just got to keep on, like you said, you got some goals and keep on striving for those goals. And it's been a pleasure to watch you grow up in a lot of ways. And yeah. So cool, man. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me. Sorry about the whole, this whole thing being dragged around.
You're
So
good.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we made it happen.
Definitely.
All right, man.
Good luck, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
See you.
All right. Thanks. Bye.